Let's go to Nevin from Maine, who is also a member at davidpakman.com. Nevin, really appreciate your support on the website. What's on your mind today? Nevin, please unmute yourself. Nobody can hear you because you've self-muted.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air now. You're on the air.
All right. So my question was, what do you think is the likelihood of a four-way race this cycle between Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Joe Manchin? Because if Ron DeSantis wins the nomination, what will likely happen is that Trump's going to run third party. And it looks like Joe Manchin might run either way. So I want to know your thoughts on that.
I believe that such a scenario is almost a complete and total impossibility. It is true that if DeSantis wins the nomination, Trump might run third party. There's a question as to whether sore loser laws would prevent him from getting on enough ballots to actually win the 270 electoral votes. I don't know the answer to that offhand, but we should know the answer to that. I think Joe Manchin's possibility of running under the no labels umbrella is sort of a long shot. He might do it, but you're basically saying the odds of both of those things happening and Trump losing the nomination to DeSantis, which doesn't seem likely. So the scenario you outlined, I don't know where I would put the odds against it, but they would be very heavy odds against that scenario.
All right. And for my second question, how useful do you think the left-right political spectrum is in the modern day?
I think it is still mostly useful for at the top level understanding political movements. However, we are seeing kind of what some people would call horseshoe theory. This is the idea if you go so far left, you end up on the right or vice versa. We are seeing weird movements, conspiracy type movements, sometimes populist type movements that because they don't really have policy, they just have rhetoric. They pull in people from the left and right and they confuse the spectrum. Like the RFK Jr. movement where he's running as a Democrat and he's from a Democratic family, the Kennedys, but he's mostly working with Republican strategists and building support overwhelmingly from Republicans and raising money from Republicans. At these individual example levels, we are seeing a little bit of a breaking of that standard left-right spectrum, but not to such a degree that it's not a useful general tool. Like if I say, listen, guys, big picture, I'm very clearly on the left and actual socialists are probably further to my left and Biden's to my right. And then if you go beyond that, you get to Joe Manchin and then you get to Lindsey Graham and then you get to, I think that that's still generally useful.
All right. Really appreciate you taking my call. Have a great day.
All right. Nevin from Maine. That's actually a good question. It's a really important thing to be thinking about. All right, folks, thank you for calling in. I'll take calls again. Don't fret too much if I didn't get to you this time.